without going through all these preliminary things, I would like to get into the topic. Now, I have been in this research area right from 1974, and I have gone through various fields. It is not just chemistry means just chemistry. I've gone through different areas of chemistry and interdisciplinary research work. So I have been in Purdue University working on some aspects of organometallics, and then in Bangalore with a research institute where I did work on some explosive chemistry, and then in SPIC as agrochemical scientist. And later on, I started this Asthagiri Herbal Research Foundation mainly to help my students to complete their PhDs. So in those days, what happened with SPIC Science Foundation was taking PhD students. We were enrolled with Madras University, and we started taking PhD students. And at one time, this private institutions, they stopped catering to all this kind of facilities. So they stopped this research activity for students. So they shifted the laboratory also. So in order to help the students to complete their work, I started this Asthagiri Herbal Research Foundation. So that was the motivation. And then I have gone through stepwise increasing the skills and the infrastructure facilities in Asthagiri Herbal Research Foundation. And now we have come up to a stage where we have got ISO certification and accreditation from Ministry of Ayush, and also DSIR and University of Madras, and many other institutions here have got collaboration with us for training in research and other activities. Now I have gone through, I have guided about 40 PhD students so far. They have got their PhDs under my guidance. Now over this period of 30, 40 years, I have seen there is a very transitional attitude of the students and the skill set. Academic or theory, not that much. One thing in India is in the colleges or universities, they are more worried or possessive about the instruments, handling of the instruments. They don't permit the students to go and touch the machine. So with the result, what happens is they don't learn anything. Now that trend continues even now. And my recent MSc students, I have taken for work in our lab. They don't know even how the balance is. How does the balance look like? They don't know how to weigh. So this is the state of affairs for even the postgraduate students. So this is a very bad or very, very pathetic situation of the students coming right now as freshers. Maybe due to the COVID reason why they are not exposed to the equipments and all, but still, the tendency for the equipment, the in charge of the equipments in the universities don't let students touch them or learn them, how to operate, how to freely handle them. This is a very big issue. When students from India go abroad, the abroad is totally different. I learned how to do use all the equipments independently. Of course, they give guidance for one month. They give the training, and later on, you are free to handle, do whatever you want with the machines. Now, the same kind of attitude or expectation is there in the US professors. When a student goes there, they expect him to do whatever he has claimed that he knows. So one person went to US and that person claimed that she knows how to handle NMR. The next minute, the professor gave her an NMR tube, asked her to go and get the NMR spectrum. She could not do that because she didn't know what the NMR machine is. Theoretically knows, but cannot do anything there. So what happened next day? He fired her. That person had to leave. So this is the kind of situation where the kind of approach in abroad universities is people are allowed to after preliminary training, they can handle the machines themselves and learn. But in India, handling of the machines is not permitted. And you can even now see pathetic. The institutions, the universities get so much of grants from DST or DBT, and the equipments are installed in the respective centers, but nothing happens after 1 or 2 years. They don't have even liquid nitrogen to maintain the machines. And so if the departments are not able to maintain the instruments, how do they permit the students to learn? Now, this is one aspect. The infrastructure is there, but infrastructure is not properly given or exposed to the students and trained. So these are all some of the issues in the present day thing in India. And with this kind of approach and strategy, I wonder how India can become a global hub for education, for a higher education. It is really a very, very a huge task in the sense our attitude has to change. We have to let our people see, handle, and then if they make mistakes, it is all right. You can correct it. So that is where we have all the maintenance engineers and all. So the students must be, the researchers must be made to have hands-on experience and skills developed in this in the universities and departments. That alone will help them to wherever they go and join any other industry or any other higher educations, they will be in a position to confidently handle the projects, confidently handle any of the issues. I'm talking of this only from the science chemistry point of view. There are several other places where I think India may be doing pretty well. There are a lot of other students coming into India for learning that one, especially maybe in the medical area and all. But then in the chemistry or either sciences area, we lack this kind of approach towards the students and developing them. So I would think that the universities should take into account this aspect. And I don't know whether any private institutions can fill that gap. Although our institution can do that one, but it is not fully equipped to that extent to train a person to a greater extent. So, I think the universities can probably look into how to train and how to involve institutions where such facilities are available on a project mode or some kind of other training mode to help them out. So I try to build up a kind of a pyramid of training with people. One is the basic level where they will be given only the theoretical or demonstrations and things like that. And at the higher level, which is going in lesser population, where the students will be given some kind of hands-on training. And third stage will be, they will be taken up for a specific project. They can be trained on a specific project, which will give them an idea of what they can do or how they can do a research activity. And after that project, they can go on to a kind of innovative or new idea. You can have an ideation and then start working towards that, which will go make them an entrepreneur. So this is an entrepreneurial track, which can start from a basic giving training on the basic theoretical principles and everything, and then demonstration, then individual projects, and then go on for their own research area and things like that. So that is a kind of a pyramid which I have been trying to develop in my institution. So I'm not sure how these universities are going to do, because it's a very larger area, and the regulations and requirements are much different from individual institutions. So this is because a lot of other issues are involved, and how they will manage. Maybe people like you can give them recommendations that they can do like that. Let the students observe. Let them get involved in some project. They have to work on some useful project with some good mentor, and then they can go for applied. You see, like Professor Ram Kumar and ourselves, we have started working on some kind of microbial, infection in these days, and how this can be controlled. So, what is the effect of this wearing a mask, and what is the kind of microbes that are getting filtered there, and what is the dangers of this one, and how to counter this. So this is only the ideation that we have given, and now you can go for doing more research on this to find out what kind of mask you should have, and what kind of material you can have to kill the microbes in situ. So these are some of the innovative ideas which people can develop and start working on it. So this is
Thank
my
you.
presentation, and
Yes,
I
yes.
hope people will take it up and go forward. Thank you.
Yes, yes.